Welcome to August. My name is Lynette, and I am reading in the Love Exquisite Magazine. I'm reading in the section called Learning by Design, and the article is titled Forgive Yourself. It's not always an easy thing to do, but it is necessary for you to move beyond your circumstances. So here we go. And hopefully by the end of the article, you'll be able to forgive yourself because you need to. Here we go. It's written in the Love Exquisite Magazine. These are unedited, and you can access them for free on loveexquisitellc.com. Why is it easier for us to forgive others, but sometimes hard for us to forgive ourselves? Remember that person who wronged you in some way? I'm sure you do. Yet you still allow them to be a part of your life in some way. You still love them and you have forgiven them, even though you will never forget what they said or what they did to you. However, day after day, you beat yourself up mentally about the mistakes that you made, and you find it hard to forgive yourself. Why don't you give yourself the same grace that you give to everyone else? Do you find that you are more invested in others than you are in yourself? Why would you believe that you have to forgive yourself for how someone else mistreated you? Even if that is your situation, forgive yourself. Because oftentimes we take on their blame, we take on their shame, we take on their guilt, and we feel like we have to forgive ourselves, and we don't have to forgive that person, or we don't hold that person accountable. It's important that you do both, that you hold the person accountable and you forgive yourself. But don't blame yourself for someone else's mistreatment. That is key. So even if that is your circumstance, forgive yourself so that you can move on from the mental abuse, because that's what it is, that you keep inflicting on yourself by not forgiving yourself. The mental abuse stems from every time you dwell on the time when you might say to yourself, dang, I should have held him accountable. I should have held her accountable. I let them off the hook too easy for their behaviors. Excuse after excuse, broken promise after broken promise, heartache after heartache, heartbreak after heartbreak. I'm sorry after I'm sorry, with no changed behavior to follow. And yet, again, you take on their blame, you take on their shame, and you take on the guilt for their mistreatment. It is not your fault when people mistreat you. It is not your fault when people mistreat you. But it is your responsibility to do something about it. That's critical. So whatever the circumstances are, no one has a right to mistreat you. No one. No matter what they are going through, have been through, no one has a right to mistreat you. So always keep that in mind. And don't beat yourself up about what you've been through. Don't beat yourself up about the shoulda, woulda, coulda, wish I would have handled it better. Forgive yourself. So if you don't always make the best decisions with your life, you still have to forgive yourself, just like you would forgive anyone else. Forgive yourself for the way that you treat yourself, for being so hard on yourself, for being critical of yourself, for telling yourself what you should have done better or that you should have known better. Forgive yourself. It's important. You are no less deserving of forgiveness. So forgive yourself so you can start loving yourself in a much better way and begin to live the life that you deserve. That is the article titled Forgive Yourself, written in the Learning by Design section of the August 2023 Love Exquisite Magazine, which you can access for free at loveexquisitellc.com. Forgive yourself. It's important.